This is Oasis, the first couple of crates as a defender, and hopefully I'll show you some good tricks and tips to keep those crates alive while the red bar goes down. Now, first things first is to get up on top of this hill and try and occupy those houses up on the hill, because if we keep them occupied we can keep the tanks away from our base and stop anything from lobbing any destruction down on the crates. Now, here you see Benzilla demonstrating how you're supposed to lay landmines. Throws some grenades out first and throws the landmines in the hole, at least to give them some sort of camouflage. So many times you see people just laying them in a straight line, just thinking that no one's going to spot them. They're just so obvious, the tank just shoots the landmines, then shoots you, laughs and trundles on. So that's a good example of how you're supposed to use landmines. Here's some good use of teamwork. Get it with the dart, go back to cover, and just let the rocket guys do the rest. And you get quite a lot of points doing it as well. I'm just keeping an eye out just for any other tanks, as they like to go along the other way, on the other side of the river as well. So keep an eye out for that. Just make sure these darts keep coming, keep flying, to keep all the vehicles spotted. As it turns out, someone abandoned their tank there because they had all kinds of trouble coming their way with our tank as well. It's always worth trying to dart the helicopters. It's kind of a, hey, I'm here, shoot me moment, but if you get the dart in, then that makes up for it. Now, always remember to burst fire when you're firing at people, especially with an SMG at this range, because you've got no hope in hell of even damaging them if you just pull the trigger down. Throwing the grenade because I thought he'd hide behind the tank, but he didn't, so he's in perfect opportunities to cap him. And just manage to dart the boat as it goes by, because you can guard the river from here as well. And that nice rocket launcher proves my point. Right, moving on from there, we move on to the second part of this, or the second wave I should say, comes in once their tanks have respawned and they've regrouped. I've been spotted here, and that's a 66 health, so I'm just getting to cover so the tank can't touch me. Just let the rocket guy do the rest. Benzilla's just staying in cover, firing over, and it's slowly being picked apart while it can't touch us. I'm just going to stick around here, keep Benzilla covered while he does his job, which is exactly what I do. Now I notice here that the howitzer's coming in repeatedly, and a lot repeatedly. Right, here it comes again. So obviously they're glitching the howitzer, which is a really nasty trick to do. I mean, it glitches the game up, makes latency problems, and it's just plain unbalanced, if anything. So just got to make sure I stay inside and avoid it, which doesn't always work, unfortunately, because it is an overbalanced strategy. But moving on. Now, this is kind of a mistake on my part. I went to dart it. I kind of hang around a little too much because I thought I could get it. But I decided to bug out, and out of nowhere, because I wasn't watching it, a car just runs in, runs my feet over, and I die. Pretty funny, pretty random, but these things happen. So as I'm waiting to respawn here, I know that Benzilla's still up on that hill doing his thing with the rocket launcher, so it's my job to get back out there with the SMG and get to him. I noticed right now there's a tank available there with a helicopter flying around, which I just noticed being shot down. It doesn't really matter so much. Now that team kill there was kind of because I saw the crates were armed and there's no time for pleasantries or waiting for noobs to get out of the way. You just got to get there to that crate. So sorry about that, but you're kind of in the way at the wrong time. Now, unlike other people, you can actually disarm and look around to shoot people. It's not a this holding B doesn't mean you can't fire anything else, so always keep alert when you're doing that. Just go around. Missed the car a few times, so it doesn't matter. Go over the wall, but luckily we got enough of our team members on the crate to do something about it. But anyway, the glitching howitzer kills itself, so it doesn't really matter because we've got the crates. We managed to fight our way back up to the outpost on the hill. Good. Go back to work with the SMG dart gun combo. Go back to my safe spot down by the ammo crate. Let the rocket launchers do their work. I'm just sitting back, literally just sitting in a hole, getting points, doing nothing. The medals just keep coming. And that's that wave repelled. And then the next wave that comes in is kind of a bit of a rush wave because I can see they're not getting very far and the crates have only taken up. So they were trying to just rush on by. We just keep darting them with rocket, find them wherever they go. I see the shell come in, so I can see there's a tank coming somewhere. I throw the dart at it, I see the charge is planted, so I go to make a run back, but the howitzer gets me. But luckily for me, that gives me just enough time to see the helicopter headbutt the anti-air, which is always fun to see. And I said that tank is not ours in the spawn screen there, so make sure everyone's aware of it by darting it. And make sure you dart the tank across the way. When tanks are across the river like that, they're incredibly hard to hit with rocket launchers because they can just reverse backwards and forwards and dodge all the shots. But with the dart gun, if you get a dart on it, it's pretty much limits their life considerably. Make sure I'm staying inside, avoiding the glitching howitzer strike. Getting yet more points on the old Reuters stuff, they're doing not a lot. I'm actually in the lead even though I've barely killed anybody at the moment. So they have rocket launcher coming out of a hole, so I know what they're up to. Don't have to clear them out of there. And just keep on moving up to the hill. Secure that position. I finally make it up to the hill, but as soon as I get there, the charges are planted again. I'm going to make a beeline back to the crate, back to save our crates, because no one else seems to be able to. Now I see there's like 3 people over there, so I'm guessing that they've got that crate down. I'll go and cover them. They all seem to run off the opposite way and get in the car, which I don't know whether they didn't go for the crate. Just duck down in the crate, dodge the tank's shell, C4 it up, say goodbye. Fortunately not enough to save the crate, because it seems that the 3 people in the car just drove off and let the crate die. So it looks like we're down to 1 crate right now, which isn't good with the howitzer bombing it as hard as it is. I think the Apaches are making passes on it as well. I heard somebody mention something about apples back then, so I know that there's a US forces somewhere in the area because they're the only ones that say that, Arabs. If you hear any American slang words being shouted around, you know that there's enemy forces around. Howitzers still coming in, bombing everybody to shit. So, notice they've taken cover in the shed again, time to clear them out. Down he goes. Notice there's quite a few tanks on the way here, so it's a beast carrot just went down. So there's obviously a 120 somewhere. Just where it is, I don't know. Unfortunately, they've got the hill right now, which is a perfect example of why you've got to keep that hill, so they've got a full view on everything, and they gun me down. And our base is looking pretty worse for wear right now with the howitzers incoming constantly, and tanks coming in. We've got support fire coming off the hill. We've got looks like a kamikaze Humvee coming in here. The C4 on the front, that's a old modern combat trait, that one. The crate's nearly dead, in fact the crate is dead, and but we got quite a lot of them, so